been driving this Honda Accord for a week now, and I wasn't quite sure what to expect because of where this car was positioned in the market in terms of price and prestige. So overall, I'm going to say I'm very impressed with it. Really, really good car, especially for the money that you can pick them up for now. So this is a 2007 Honda Accord Mark 7. The Mark 7 came out in the UK in 2003 and ran through till 2007, 2008 possibly, before the Mark 8 superseded it. This particular car is a 2-litre petrol VTEC, putting out 155 brake horsepower through a 5-speed manual gearbox. And I'm going to start right away by saying the gearbox is a joy to use. It really is. Like, the cliche phrase they use in car magazines and reviews is that it's like a rifle bolt, and I can see what they're saying. It just slotting into from second into third. It's beautiful. I think Honda really they really know their engines, and they really know their transmissions. They're in the design room and they're thinking, all right boys, making a new saloon, Honda Accord Mark 7, what engines are we putting in it? We can either put in this brilliant engine, or well, how about we design a new engine, a diesel, which we hadn't done before. Oh, and that's also turns out to be brilliant, so they can't go wrong with that. And yeah, and then they can just whack a Honda gearbox in it, and you've already got half of a great car already. Of course, they didn't stop there. They were basically trying to sort of make the car a little bit more upmarket, a little bit more ahead of its sort of, you know, traditional rivals like the Ford Mondeo or Toyota Avensis. Now, I think they probably achieved it. So this is an ample or a perfect opportunity to try out the acceleration, because I'm just pulling onto this. Yeah, okay. I mean, oh, so this car, I honestly hadn't done that to this point, because I knew that I needed my genuine reaction. And this is only a sort of 9.3 to 60, I think, 155 horsepower, but you do get the way that VTEC kicks in. I know that's like a bit of a cliche, but I enjoyed that. And you do feel a little step, and yeah, 7,000 RPM is for a little sort of, I don't know, executive saloon or family saloon is it's a joy. So right from first impressions of this car, the quality is great. Like, you get in and you're greeted by these plush leather seats that are almost like armchairs, and they're heated, and boy are they heated. If you have them on high, they're going to burn, but the idea is it just heats it up quickly, and then you switch it to low, and yeah, they're decent. Just the little things about the car, like just the touch and feel of certain aspects of it, like the indicator stalks, they just feel really great. Like, you definitely always want to indicate in one of these. I think that's why, you know, say in a BMW where you have that, certainly in the 2000s BMWs where you have the awkward to use indicator switch that is hard to cancel. Well, in this one it's a joy. So Honda drivers are indicators, definitely. So despite the fact that this you can go all the way up to 7,000 RPM before you need to change gear with the glorious gearbox, the fuel economy is not too bad. I've done around 200 miles in this car now, and a mixture of motorway, driving, 50-mile-an-hour road driving and town driving, and it's currently sitting at 32.5 mpg. So for a car of this for its day, petrol, it's pretty good. I think you could get maybe higher 30s on a careful run, and then round town might be sort of high 20s. So yeah, definitely acceptable. But I hear that the diesel is the one to go for if you want economy, and it's a good engine as well. But personally, with petrol, I mean, this car, when you're just sitting at idle, you can't hear the engine, you forget that it's on, and that's another sort of feature of that smooth Honda engine. You just can't even hear it, and then obviously when you unleash it, you really can hear it. Say the user interface in this car, so the dials, the controls, they're all pretty well laid out. The dials look really nice, like even in light like this, you can't really see the edges of them. They just sort of appear there, like lit up, and yeah, they're just nice to look at. They look quite modern and sophisticated. I do like them. So I should mention that this is the EX or executive model of the Accord, and that's one of the top spec models, and it's also the run out late model, 2007 model, so it was towards the end of this car's life, and it's well equipped, as I mentioned. The heated seats, you've got automatic lights, automatic wipers, auto dim rear view mirror, foldable mirrors, the premium sound system, as it says on itself. It's not modest. It likes to mention that it's a premium sound system, and there's a lot of chat online about who actually makes it, and it seems to be different depending on where the car is from and where maybe it just depended on what Honda had knocking around their parts bin at the time. I don't know, maybe that's why they wrote premium sound system on it. So I've got my favourite little road for testing ride comfort coming up here. The one that the CLK that I reviewed last time was struggling on. Well, let's see. Yeah, I mean, this is just, it's not really having much of a problem with it. I mean, yeah, it's a bumpy road, but it's not smashing my spine up, which is nice. The ride's good. It's weird because the auto, what was it, Parker's, I think I read. I don't tend to read. I try not to read too many reviews or go into much detail with them, but I noticed that one of the negative points that Parker's had about the Accord was that the ride was quite hard, and I just haven't had that experience. It's nice. The ride's comfortable. The engine is sitting at about 3,000 RPM at 70, which in your normal 6,000 rev limit car, that's halfway. But with this one, although you might initially think, well, 3,000 is quite high for a motorway cruiser. In this car, it's not even halfway up its rev range, and it's still quite punchy. If you floor it in fifth on the motorway, you'll gain speed quickly. Try out the parking sensors. I hope they are actually going to start beeping. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that sounds close enough. It's a very cold day for UK standards, not really getting above 0 or 1 degree maybe, and I'm thankful for this car's features, the heated seats and the fact that the climate control heats up really quick. Seems particularly fast. I don't know if that's just my imagination or it really is, but it's pretty practical in here. You've got your cup holders, which, as much as you would think they would be in every car, as I found out with my Mercedes CLK and most of the Mercs from that early 2000s period, there are no cup holders, and that's something that kind of upset me with that car. But this one, you've got your cup holders in the middle, you've got a fairly small glove box and small door pockets, so they're not, you can fit small bottles in, but not only just. But they do have this in the center console. You can there's this tray which seems to be designed for literally any modern smartphone, which is good, because smartphones didn't exist when this car was being designed. They were thinking ahead, those Honda engineers. Pretty big center console cubby as well. The boots are pretty good size. It's kind of what you'd expect for a saloon car this shape. And the seats fold 60/40 split, so pretty practical for longer items. Welcome to the back of the Accord Executive model, where, as you can see, a 6-foot gentleman such as myself can sit quite happily behind the 6-foot driver, which is also myself. There's not too much to report back here, but the seats are just as comfortable as they are in the front. You've got little door pockets behind the seats, electric windows, which I know are for a fact standard on all Mk7 Accords. Little courtesy light up here so I can have a read, and not that I'll be being chauffeured around in this vehicle, I don't think it's quite at that level, but maybe it's certainly a great taxi. Yes, and here we have the side curtain airbag, so I would be protected in a side impact, hopefully. But speaking of this, the Accord had only a 4-star Euro NCAP rating, which sounds a bit harsh saying only 4-star, but its rivals at the time, certainly the ones it was aiming to compete with, achieved 5 stars, which, so it's just a little bit of a letdown there from Honda that they didn't quite get that final elusive star. So when you have a sunroof, if you want to have a sort of better look around, a bit like a periscope, you can just, well, maybe not put your hands up there, you could just have a look, see, yeah, looks good out there. So Honda were marketing the Mk7 Accord as a sort of more executive, slightly higher end car than they would have done previously, and it shows. Like the interior quality is good, everything's well screwed together and it all still works. It's got a premium sound system which sounds good, and you've got a six disc CD changer which you can slot all the CDs in one at a time, and you don't have to like go into the boot or into the glove box and fill up one of those things. Not that anyone uses CDs anymore. Now in terms of the styling of this car, I was liking a compact executive car such as this, as it's trying to be, and I think mostly succeeded, should be like wearing a nice suit. When you get into the car, it should be like you're putting on your favourite suit. So the sort of shape of this car, it works. It's definitely got that Japanese look to it, but I think it's, you know, square shouldered and yeah, subtle, but just a nice design. So that's the Mk7 Honda Accord. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and if you're looking for one of these, let me know in the comments what you're looking for, and if you've got one, what do you think of it? Yeah, until next time, cheers.